Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an episode of the Shipe Sports Talk Show. I am your host, as always, Matthew Shipe, joined always by my co-host and producer, Paul. Paul, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Matt.
Hey, you have a camera. Why we can't see you tonight?
Oh, let me work on that.
All right. Yeah. Joined always by my two amazing co-hosts. First, Chris. Chris, how are you doing?
What's going on, everybody? I'm doing all right. How about you?
Good. And then joined by the face that runs the place leisurely, Mr. Anthony Ladicio. Anthony, good to have you back, buddy.
How are we doing tonight, gentlemen?
Doing.
Doing all right.
First off, Anthony, from all of us up here in Maryland, we hope you a safe, weekend, early week being down in Florida. So all of us are praying for you, your family, and all your friends tonight, Anthony, down there.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, so what's the deal? Are you like, so where you're? I don't want to say where you're at.
Evacuating
exactly,
or what?
but like, are you? Yeah.
In the path. Why don't you say that?
Yeah. Are you in the path, or are you like?
It depends on the model right now. As of yesterday, if you watch the model, it showed it off onto in the water right on that coast, closest to the ocean. Now they have it moving to go further, and then go up from the bottom from the Keys up, which would actually not hit Miami now in the newest model. It would still get the rain and the wind, but the actual core wouldn't hit it, and then it would go right through Florida, up through Georgia. Now it has it through into South Carolina. So at this moment in time, unfortunately, that's just the model that they have. There's still 3 different tracks, and it's just when the wind pushes it to start moving north. So at any point, it could change again. Like I said, literally, Matt could tell you at 3 o'clock, the model was showing that it was just going to go on the coast and just kind of be off of Florida. Now it's showing as of like 6 p.m. today that's going to go right through the center. So it's really a lot of just, wait and see. And like I said, just hoping and praying that it doesn't affect anyone here. And for everyone that's watching this in Florida, or anywhere, just be prepared. That's the best thing you could do. Unfortunately, we don't have any more knowledge right now of what's going to happen because hurricanes are very unpredictable. So let's just hope and pray that it does as little, damage as possible and just kind of gets out of here.
And if you got to question yourself if you should evacuate, you probably should evacuate.
I've seen a lot of videos already from like the Caribbean, and it's bad. I mean,
one island, Barbuda, 90% of their structures are done.
90% destroyed. That's a crazy number. I mean, granted,
it's small.
Yeah, it's bad. It's small, but it's still, their entire life is like just.
And then they're going to be hit again this weekend by Jose.
Yeah, it's just it's a a bad situation, and you just gotta hope for the best in this kind of situation. And let's bring some positivity tonight. Let's talk about some sports.
All right, we're gonna start off the return of our fantasy focus segment. We're gonna give our one start, one sit-em of the week. We'll start as always with quarterbacks. And Anthony, I'm gonna let you start off with your stardom and sit-em for quarterback.
All right, so in the stardom corner, I think this might be someone that we've all talked about, and I think it's a no-brainer here. I got Cam Newton starting over San Francisco.
Well, let me go change mine right now.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of upside there in San Francisco, especially because I think offensively they're still not any better than they were last year, so that's going to hurt them because I think the defense is going to spend a lot of time on the field. So I like Cam Newton there. On the sit-em side, I went with Dak Prescott for the against the Giants. I just don't find him as strong there against the Giants. I think that the running game is going to be the thing that the Giants have to learn to stop. And I think the passing game will not be a strength for the Cowboys on Sunday night.
All right. I'm going to go stardom since you took mine. I'm going to say Matt Ryan. The Falcons, they're going against the Bears. Bears defense, it's not 2005, 2007.
You don't think that's a trap game? You don't think there's any Super Bowl hangover, they call it?
I think they're going to put up 40 points.
All right.
And then
put your money where your mouth is and make some FanDuel accounts, DraftKings accounts. I want to see them.
Okay, sir. I'll do that just for you.
I'm just saying.
Right away, sir. Right away. And
just saying.
My sit-em for the week is going to be Jay Cutler and Jameis Winston, obviously, because you can't. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. That was bad, wasn't it?
Alrighty.
Where's my
I'm gonna sit
rim shot?
I guess who's going to start for the Colts this week?
Tolzien.
Scott Tolzien.
Okay, sit him because the Rams has a pretty good defense, and when Luck doesn't play, they really don't do that well. So I'm gonna go.
Please don't jinx it, man.
Why? Oh, I forgot. You took the Rams in the survival league, didn't you?
Yep.
All right. Well, I just don't start the quarterback for the Colts. So Chris, go ahead.
That's sounds about right. I wouldn't start him either. But definitely my stardom this week is going to be Carson Palmer. He was on fire the second half of the season last year, and now basically entrenched in this offense with the best running back in the league, debatably. You know, he's going to have a lot of opportunities to throw it downfield, and he's really good at that. I mean, we've seen him thrive in this Cardinals offense for a few years now, and I think it's just going to continue to thrive. In the sit-em category, I'm going to go with Joe Flacco. Basically has 0 preseason activity, coming off a back injury in a tough division game against Cincinnati. These games are normally hard to play already, and if he's got to worry about his back, if he takes one wrong hit, then that could be season over for all we know. So I would stay away from Joe Flacco this week.
All right, so there's our quarterback start sit-em. Let's move to running back. Now I'm going to start it off, and I'm going to go with this guy only because I feel like he's going to have something to prove. He's very angry about what's going to happen after this week, and I'm going to say you start Ezekiel Elliott from the Cowboys.
Yeah, can we get an applause, please?
Why?
Just
Did I say it right?
We need cheering. We need
Did I say it right?
clapping.
You did.
Everything.
You
Congratulations.
said Ezekiel.
Ezekiel. I'm going to go with him because I know they're playing against the Giants and everything, but I feel like he's angry, he's pissed, and I feel like he's going to come out running all 4 cylinders, and he may go for a $150 and a couple touchdowns.
To your point, I don't mean to cut you off real quick, but to your point, I think you're 100% correct. If you look at his stats last year against the Giants, he rushed for over 120 yards each time. So I mean, you're not, like I said, that's the biggest
Well,
part of the offense.
I saw you nod your head like you approved.
I
And
agree.
and
I
think
agree
he's
with
angry.
that. And I think a lot of it
angry.
has to do, yeah.
He's
But
angry.
regardless of the fact if he wasn't suspended or not, I think he still would have played well in his first game. So
And
100%.
I'm
I'm a realist.
The rookie Fournette from the Jacksonville Jaguars going up against Houston, and right now it's Houston strong. I mean, you see what happened in that city. I think Houston, honestly, is going to blow Jacksonville out of the water this week. They're playing for more than themselves. They're playing for an entire city. That city's going to be on their back. And you can hear me now. J.J. Watt's going to have 3+ sacks that game as well. So I think Fournette rushes for under 50 yards. So, Chris, go ahead.
For my stardom this week, not an automatic start, but someone that I would definitely put in a flex position or even an RB2 in PPR leagues, and that's Bilal Powell for the Jets. Look, the Bills do have a good defense, but like I said, specifically in PPR leagues, Bilal Powell was picking up a lot of catches, a lot of dump-offs last year, and I see more of the same. Josh McCown being their starter, I don't see him pushing the ball deep downfield like Fitzmagic did. So I definitely think it's going to be a lot of dump-offs, and Bilal Powell is going to eat those up and get probably 7 or 8 catches in this game, and that's easy points right there. For my sit-em this week, I'm going to go with, I had a couple here, but I'm going to go with Ty Montgomery. He's definitely someone that people have picked up to be your, at minimum, RB2, and I think that the Seahawks are going to be a tough defense. I mean, they've been a tough defense for many, many years, so I can see them stuffing the run and basically making them beat them with the pass. So Aaron Rodgers, I think, is going to have a decent game, but I don't think their running game is going to get up and running.
All right, Anthony?
Yeah. So I like those picks, both that you said. For my stardom, I actually have one of the rookies in the spot. I have Dalvin Cook as a stardom this week against New Orleans. I think New Orleans is another team that defensively they very rarely continue to improve. And I think Cook got the starting nod, and I think he's going to show why he got the starting nod and why he was so explosive, and he could just take he could get one spot and then he takes off. So And then for the sit-em, I have Isaiah Crowell. I don't really like him against Pittsburgh's defense. I know he was a top 10 running back on some draft boards. For me, I've just never been a big fan for it. So that's who I would go with on those two.
All right, now let's move to our last position of wide receiver. And Chris, go ahead.
Sorry about that. Wide receiver this week. There's a lot of good starts, but for me, it's going to be. I don't like doing automatics unless it's absolutely necessary. But for me, it's going to be Alshon Jeffrey for the Eagles. I think he is in a better position than where he was in with the Bears, and I think that coming off another year, I think that Carson Wentz will step it up. And now that he has a nice security blanket in Alshon Jeffrey, big red zone target, I think they're going to put up a lot of points against the Washington Redskins defense that's just not really that good. They haven't been that good in the past few years. So I think that could be a good start. I don't think people drafted him in the first couple rounds. Probably drafted in the third or fourth round, but I can see him putting up top 10 numbers this week. For my sit-em, though, it's going to be a tough one because it's almost an automatic. I said I don't like doing automatics, but T.Y. Hilton, I think, is one of those people that you probably drafted him in the first 2-3 rounds, but this is not one of those weeks that you want to play him. I mean, you normally start your studs, but Tolzien is just not a very good backup. There's a lot of good backups out there that would probably do much better than Tolzien, but I'm going to have to say T.Y. Hilton, you're going to have to sit him this week until we figure out what the Colts offense is like.
All right, Anthony, it's on you.
All right, for receiver, starting receiver, I got Julio Jones against Chicago. Big fan of Julio. Again, obviously, this is one of those ones that's a given because you draft him as a top 3 receiver, so you got to expect him to do well every week. And then for my sit-em, I got Allen Robinson of Jacksonville against Houston. Whatever the case is with Bortles, whatever the case is with Chad Henne, whoever they go with, all I know is that it's not working out there, and if they don't figure out the run game, I think that the quarterback situation is not going to be fixed. And quite honestly, watching him throughout the preseason, the guy Allen, that was the third-string quarterback, probably outperformed both of them.
And they cut him.
And they cut him, and he's on the Rams now. So, I mean, I feel terrible for Bortles, obviously, as a UCF alum with him, but I just don't see them figuring it out anytime soon, and I really hope I'm wrong. Hopefully, TC, being up there, Coach Coughlin, being up there in the front office kind of helps out and gets them back on the right track, but it's not looking too good for the Jacksonville outlook on their offense.
In drafts, I avoided Robinson, even though he was high up. I could never pull the trigger. And also, Allen Hurns. I mean, last year, this guy was a top 20, top 30 with Robinson. Now he's out of the top 100. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, he was drafted high. He was drafted not that far behind.
High, yeah.
I was one of the knuckleheads that had
not that far behind.
both of them on my roster because I was like, man, these
Yeah,
guys
and I tried to trade him early in the year for you. Like, I'm not trading either of them. And
Well,
all right. So my
lucky for
starter
you,
this
Anthony.
week is no one said Julio, right? I'm sorry, I dazed.
I
off.
did. That was who I chose. Yeah.
Antonio Brown.
No, go for it. Take it.
Good. Antonio Brown. Simple reason, going against Cleveland, and guess who Cleveland doesn't have anymore? Going up against him.
Joe Hayden. He's actually on the other team now.
Anthony, what do you like to call him in Madden when I would go against him?
A la Joe Hayden.
There you go.
Is that who you're talking about?
That was Anthony's man until he started getting mossed, and Anthony would always yell, "I'm cutting him this week." He never did though. Anthony always said he was going to cut his top player, and the guy I never saw him in free agency.
I got rid of him eventually. He wants $9 million a year. I can't afford that when you're getting beat by number 2 receivers.
And then my sit-em this week, Tyreek Hill tonight. I don't know if hopefully they haven't started playing yet, but
That's fine. Even if it's been 3 minutes if the game started, so I don't think that's really a way to say that it's unfair.
I think he had a bad preseason, and he's going against Malcolm Butler, who's one of the better cornerbacks in the league. And I just didn't. Let's see, Chris just looked up. I just didn't like Tyreek Hill this preseason, and I really don't think he's a number 1 guy. I think with his speed, he's more of a slot guy than a true number 1. So I think you stay away. If you probably already set your lineup, you don't go with Hill. And then if I can't say Hill because the lineup's already locked in.
Well, here's the deal with Hill. I think you just got to temper your expectations. I mean, I think he will still produce, but you're facing the reigning champs right now. he is now the default number one wide receiver.
Yeah.
Can he fill those shoes? Yet to be seen, and I don't think he will do as well as he did last year, but I still think if he's a flex, sometimes maybe you got to roll the dice if you don't have any other options.
All right. Well, if we go with someone who's not playing tonight, for people who would watch this later on, I'm gonna say he's a new number one guy. Not number one. I'm sorry. You know what? Yes, he's a new number one guy in Chicago. Kevin White. I don't think you start him right away in week one. He's a second-year guy, but he was hurt. He's been hurt. This is his first true year, and you got to feel him out for the first couple weeks to see how he's going to do, and you got to see how Mike Glennon's going to play, and maybe Trubisky takes over. I just feel like you can't start someone like that right off the bat. So that is start sit 'em, and I believe that's going to conclude our first week of fantasy.
No tight end.
We're gonna do tight ends, bro.
Do you want to do tight ends?
We always do tight ends.
All right, Anthony, you start with the tight end then.
All right, my starter. I think this is gonna make you very happy. I went with Delaney Walker of the Tennessee Titans over Oakland. I like that offense a lot. I think it has a very good chance of being one of the better offenses in the league. So I think they'll do well. And then for my sit-em, I got Eric Ebron, the Lions, against Arizona. Arizona's a good enough defense, and Ebron just really hasn't had that consistent market tight end that everyone's thought he was going to have after having such praise coming out of college. So hopefully he figures it out, but I don't see it happening against Arizona.
All right, I'm gonna go with my starting this week. Whew, man, there's so many. There's actually, if you look at when you did fantasy drafts this year, there was a lot of good tight ends in this fantasy draft. A lot of young ones. I'm gonna say,
yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna say you picked my guy. I'm gonna pick your guy. I'm gonna pick a rookie.
Don't.
I'm taking Evan Ingram as a stardom this week, and here's why. I feel like when you're in the red zone and you're playing against the Giants, who's the guy you want to look at the most? Odell.
Brandon Marshall.
Well, okay, Brandon Marshall, Odell, both of them. That's going to leave the door open, I think, for Ingram to have, because since you have both those guys on the outside plus Sterling Shepard in the slot, the cornerbacks are going to play them. You got to keep a cornerback on those guys. You're going to have to put a linebacker on Ingram, and let's face it, after watching him in college and the speed that he has, he's going to outdo any linebacker. And I feel like he's a start this week because of those three wide receivers you have, and you put a linebacker on this guy, he's going to tear you up every single week. So I'm going to go Ingram as a sneaky stardom this week just because of the matchups that he can get while playing with these three other guys. Anthony, you don't agree with that at all?
No, I think he's going to be on the field a lot. They said they have a lot of looks for him.
I believe 60 to 75%. He's going to be in all passing downs.
It's not that I don't think he's capable. I just think it's going to be tough for him to immediately come in and on the onset make a huge impact. But I would like to be obviously wrong. I definitely think he'll be out there to make the plays, and I think he's someone to watch as a sleeper. But I don't know if I would give him the title of stardom yet, because technically he's not even number one on the depth chart. That's Ellison. Obviously he's more of a blocking tight end, Ellison, but that's the only thing that I have. And like you just said, to your point, you have Beckham, Marshall, and Shepard as the top three receivers. So when those guys are on the field with you, Ingram's going to be out there. But we'll see. Like I said, I think he's a great upside
sleepy, sneaky
potential.
stardom. I love his upside, and I feel like he's
Sleepy.
good. Sleeper. I said
Sleeping out there?
Sleeper.
That's not good. We definitely don't want that.
He said sleepy sneaky.
And when my sit him this week, man, I'm trying to think about this right now. You know what? I'm gonna go with Colby Fleener of the Saints. He just drops too many balls for me, I think. I think he has a catch at you. He had it with the Colts. I think, Chris, you remember when the Luck played against the Redskins, he had like a wide open touchdown. It was just out of his hands. I can't trust Fleener at all with just catching anything right now. Until I see him consistently don't drop anything.
Yeah.
That's why I can't draft him in fantasy. I see everyone's like, oh, draft him, him and Drew Brees. Last year during the preseason was all Fleener and Brees and didn't translate to anything.
Did not translate, yeah.
Until I see him constantly catching maybe 5 or 7 balls a game, I can't trust the guy right now. I don't care.
I think this year is going to be a prove-it year for him. I mean,
it's a make or break.
They picked him up, had really high hopes for him. Yeah, make or break it season, I think, for sure.
Real quick.
It's on me, I think, right?
Yeah, real quick.
Go ahead.
Thomas, is he still with Miami, or did he got traded to who? Or did he go anywhere
No,
else?
Julius Thomas is on Miami. He got traded to
Thomas?
Miami.
He's still with them. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Chris.
So for my stardom for tight ends, I'm gonna have to go with. Oh, actually, I'm just gonna change it right now. It's kind of a sneaky sleeper play.
Sleepy.
No, not sleepy. Sleeper play. Zach Miller for the Chicago Bears. Last year, he kind of came out of nowhere and just got targets and got touchdowns, and I think it was the lack of receivers, the lack of bodies that the Bears had last year. And I think Mike Glennon is gonna, what is every quarterback safety blanket? Is their tight end, and I think Zach Miller could be a sneaky streamer. If you're playing FanDuel or DraftKings, I think he's gonna be cheap, and he might pick up a cheap touchdown, maybe even 2 here or there if they make it in the red zone. And I think he definitely would be a starter for me, especially in PPR formats. For my sit-'em, I'm going to have to go with one of the greatest tight ends in history, in Antonio Gates. I think the torch has been passed after last year to Hunter Henry for the Chargers. And I think Gates is, although he'll still be on the field, he's still going to get looks, he's still going to put up points, but he's a shadow of what he used to be, 3, 4, 5 years ago. And if you drafted him on your fantasy football team, then I would advise that you drop him and pick someone else up off the waiver wire, because he's not someone that you can trust week in and week out to catch touchdowns and put up points for you week in and week out.
All right, there it is. That's going to conclude now our fantasy focus segment of the week. You'll catch
I have a
that.
question.
No. Okay, go ahead.
It could be fantasy impact.
All right.
Obviously, Edelman was hurt for the season. Now they lost Malcolm Mitchell. Do you think that, obviously, the third spot is going to be between Amendola and the newly acquired Dorsett? Do you think this gives a huge boost of fantasy, attention to those guys, and as well as people like James White and Burkhead out of the backfield? Do you think that any of these guys are a must-have as a stash on your bench now, whether it be, Dorsett or Burkhead? Who's someone you think that you should be looking at in your waiver wire
I think
early as those guys?
I think Dorsett more now, because here's the thing with Amendola. All the talent in the world can't stay healthy. I hate to say this, I hate throwing this term out, but he's like Wes Welker. He's a concussion waiting to happen. Just because how small he is and being a slot guy going across the middle of the field, you take that chance. And that's what ultimately ended Wes Welker's career. I can't trust Amendola. If I'm going somewhere, I'm going for Dorsett.
I would have to agree with you. Philip Dorsett did put up decent numbers when he was, I believe, in Indianapolis. They had a high-powered offense, and the New England Patriots have a high-powered offense. The problem with the Patriots is they don't really have a guy other than Gronk, and when they had Randy Moss, that was their guy. But Tom Brady, one of the best things about his game and what he brings to the table is he spreads the ball around. So as a stash away, I have no problem picking up Philip Dorsett and maybe putting him in a streamer. Like if they have a really good matchup, they're going to put up points. I'm sure he's going to catch a touchdown or at least five
By the way,
catches
as we
for 50
say
yards.
this, Amendola just catches a 16-yard pass. So he literally just said, take your fist and shove it.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. It's the first game. It's the first drive.
As long as they
For all
throw a
we know,
touchdown
he's
to
going to
Gronk.
get hit. And they just tried the same play back to back, but this time to Cooks.
All right, so that's it. So I guess now we can move on to our big thing for today, the preview show, which we're gonna, pick our division winners, and we're gonna go through the playoffs, and we'll do as we always do for baseball, the NFL last year. We'll pick our Super Bowl champ and see how we do at the end of the season. How we're gonna do at the end of the season. So let's go ahead and talk NFC East, since we're all here. We're all NFC East guys. Very briefly, Anthony, we'll start with you as
Debatable.
What?
Yeah, we're all NFC East guys. You're not an NFC East guy.
You're not
Not
an
you.
NFC
I'm
East
sorry.
guy.
Well, I have to listen to him because I'm in the area.
You're
So
a default
Anthony,
NFC East guy.
let's start with you. How do you think your guys' season's going to go this year?
The Giants season as a total.
And then we'll go ahead and do our NFC East predictions, and we're already on it. So we'll go ahead and discuss
wow,
the
that was
Giants.
They
Go
scored.
ahead.
Yep.
Who?
Oh,
Sorry.
Never mind. Holding. Never mind.
Okay.
They're bringing it back.
No, that's coming back.
Yeah, keep
I
going.
like I like the Giants' potential this year. Obviously, they went out. This is a team that was 11-5 last year, and they went out and got better offensively. Their biggest question mark, like I've told you from the beginning, is the offensive line. What they're going to do there with the offensive line could be crucial, to this team's, longevity as a contender. Because if they can't protect Eli, and they can't give him time back there, to throw the ball, or give Paul Perkins any kind of, space to run the ball, I mean, this is going to be similar to last year. There'll be a team that can win games, can make the playoffs, but they can't, play with the best of them, and that's going to be the thing of it. Defensively, like I said, they've made strides. They played really well in certain games last year, and again, when it came to it in the playoffs last year, they tried to go, touchdown for touchdown, and Eli's not that guy. Eli's not going to be that guy against Aaron Rodgers. 10 years ago, maybe you make the case that Eli was, able to try and compete a little more, but the guy's 36 now. I mean, he's never been that guy that's going to throw touchdown for touchdown. It's always been, let's let the defense, keep us in this game close, and then Eli's just got to make minimal mistakes, and, that's something they got to do. But I really, like I said, I like the potential very much for the Giants team this year.
All right. Chris, let's go with you. What do you think about the Skins this year?
Sorry, another touchdown. Well, now it's official. It's tough, man.
Who scored?
Looked like a running back.
Okay, just keep going because I don't really care about the running backs.
Yeah, it wasn't Tom Brady, it looks like. No, it was a run.
Gillisley.
I think it was Gillisley.
It's Gillisley.
Yeah, Gillisley.
All right, go ahead, Chris.
I think this year is going to be tough, just like every other year. I don't predict us finishing in last place. I think that this is going to be a really highly contested division. I still think it's going to be between the Cowboys and the Giants, though, this year, and I think the Redskins are going to be a couple games behind trying to catch up and basically ending up third place. The reason I say that is because we did pick up some depth in the defense, but I still don't think that that's enough for us to keep, to keep our
guess
offense.
Guess what? With the defense, Junior finally made it through a damn preseason without getting hurt.
Yeah.
So we finally get to see what he can do.
2 years in a row. Only took third year's the charm, right?
Jesus.
So, I mean, we have Junior Gillette. We picked up a few. I think the first 3 out of 4, I think, of our draft picks were defensive positions. So I'm glad that we're addressing that issue, but I've yet to see how that's going to translate into the regular season. And I feel like the Giants got better. I feel like the Cowboys are just as strong as they were last year. Even without
debatable
Ezekiel Elliott, even with his suspension, I still think they have decent running backs to basically carry that team. So I think we're going to struggle probably right around 8-8. And I don't think that's going to be enough for us to get in the playoffs.
No. Who's that, the Redskins?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys talked about the sorry, did I interrupt somebody's
No, you didn't. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Talk about what's his name who just decided to just like not play anymore?
He didn't retire.
Sue Cravens.
He got talked out of retiring. I don't know what's going on with him. They showed video of Will Compton, you're not giving your hardest out, blah blah blah. I don't know where. I think the injury.
I mean,
because you see a lot of guys
almost went blind.
You see a lot of guys when they get hurt. This is what comes to their mind. Like, do I really want to do this?
Exactly. He literally almost lost his vision.
Yeah,
so.
I think he'll be back. He's back. He's not gonna be eligible for week 1, but I do believe he's just got to take some time, get himself together. But he did say he's not retired anymore. It was like a one-day thing. So, all right. So now since we're on the NFC East, let's go ahead and make our predictions. I'll go first. I'll let you guys think. I have the Giants winning this division. I think with the addition of Brandon Marshall, that's going to open more up for Odell. I think they still have a stout defense, even with missing a finger. JPP hasn't lost. He didn't lose a step. I mean, everyone thought like, oh, how can he do it? He did not lose a step. I think Perkins is definitely going to take it to the next level as a running back. I know Anthony loves to hear that because of their running back situation. Anthony, you can agree the past couple of years has been atrocious.
Abysmal.
And I think with Ingram there and more passing attack, I feel like Eli finally, hopefully breaks his little, I don't know, I guess he has like an interception type like thing around him. I just feel like the guys he has around him, the weapons, hopefully he'll be smart enough not to do that and guys will get open. But I'm going to have the Giants winning this division. So, Anthony, we'll go with you now.
I've gone back and forth, man, on this a lot. My heart wants to say the Giants, but then I think about the Cowboys and what they have already. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to go with the Giants, but I think Week 1 could change that whole thing. And I'm not saying
Do you think
Giants
the winner
will
in
make
Week
the
1
playoffs.
wins the division?
I think could win the division.
Okay.
Because Elliott's going to be missing the next 6 games, right?
Right.
So if the Giants win this game, I can't see the Cowboys making it, because that's one. Then the Giants have a game in hand, and now Elliott doesn't play the next 6.
Right. And
So-
yeah, exactly.
All right, real
You
quick,
know-
let's go with the games he's going to be missing against. He's going to miss Denver, Arizona, Rams, Green Bay, San Francisco, Washington. Those are very
Washington's a huge game.
Those are big games he's going to miss. Now, the Washington game, Chris, I think you can agree with this. You got to be a little scared for that one because it could be Alfred Morris's where he comes back and just says, screw everything. Because usually that's what happens with the Skins. When someone leaves, they come back and they have a
They come
great
back
game.
and they kill us.
All right,
yeah.
Anthony, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just
No,
wanted to
you're
list
good.
the games he was missing. I mean, the Denver game, that's a huge game. Arizona, the Rams, Green Bay. Those are four
I think
huge
Green Bay
games.
is the biggest game. The rest of those games, when you discuss it, I think with Elliott in the starting lineup, if you talk about those games, I think those are you give the advantage to the Cowboys. Without him in the lineup, like I said, at 5 of those 6 games, I give the advantage
look at
to the Cowboys,
Arizona.
other than Green Bay.
You take
But
away
I would still
Elliott,
give the advantage.
Arizona, you take away Elliott, you can put all your
Wow.
Patrick Peterson focus right on Des Bryant.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like I said, that's the offensive line is what the big deal is here. The
Kareem
offensive
Hunt
line
with
lost a couple
fumble
players.
already.
A fumble on Kansas City.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt
All right.
already first
Oh, wow.
fumble.
All right, so
Yikes.
Anthony, you are going
So-
with
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Giants. Like you said, Perkins is there. They finally have. They had no fullback last year. They have Rhett Ellison who could play both, and like you said, they have Engram. So if they line up Ellison at fullback, they can move Engram on the outside at tight end. They finally have.
you could put
Matt
Algrim
Lacoste.
and also as a wideout and bring your other tight end in. Then you don't
Yeah,
know if you're running or
That's what I'm
passing the
saying.
ball.
You could bring in
It's crazy.
Lacoste, who's a guy they've had high potential for, has been on the practice squad, and he's finally been healthy for a whole offseason. And he made the roster over Will Tye, who was starting some games last year. He actually got cut. So I like the potential of the Giants this year. Offensive line is the big key, but I'm going to go with the Giants to win the NFC East.
All right, Chris, who's your winner?
For me, it's gonna be. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I think their team is just slightly better than the Giants, and I think it's gonna come down to 1 or 2 games. It might even, like you said, it might end up being this very first game is the coin toss. The one game that pushes them over the edge to be the division winner.
All right,
The Giants
now-
got to win these games. That's what it comes down to, because you saw last year they won both and still didn't win the division. So they got to win these games in order to ensure that they're getting as much victories as they can.
All right, so now we'll run through the rest of the league, give division winners, and then we'll do the wild card. So let's go NFC first. So first with the East, me and Anthony take the Giants, Chris take the Cowboys. Let's go with the South. I'm gonna have the Falcons. God damn you, Paul. I'm gonna have the Falcons repeating as champs. Who do you guys got in the South?
Go ahead, Anthony.
Okay. Again, another team. I'm going to go with the Falcons.
All
The
right.
Buccaneers are right there for me, though.
Chris.
I'm gonna go with the Panthers. I think the addition of Christian McCaffrey and the addition of Julius Peppers, I think those are 2 pieces on each side of the ball that it could really give them
Peppers went
an
back.
upgrade.
He came
Yeah.
back home. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so I mean, I think they're gonna win it by about a game or 2.
Okay. Now let's go to the North, and everyone who votes Packers say aye.
Hi.
Okay, there we go. That was the easiest thing we've ever had to do.
Yeah.
Actually, take that back. There's another division that will be very easy.
yeah.
All right, so we all have the Packers. Now let's go to the last division, the NFC West, and then we'll get to our wild card. West, I'm going to go with the Seahawks this year. Anthony, let's go with you.
I got the Seahawks.
Chris?
I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be close, but I think the Cardinals nudge them.
All right, so Chris, I'll start with you. Who are your 2 wild cards?
My 2 wild cards are gonna be the Falcons
Okay.
and the Seahawks.
All right, Anthony, your 2 wild cards?
Mine are the Cowboys and the Buccaneers.
Anthony, me and you seem to have the same mind because we picked everything the same this entire way. I got the
You have the
Buccaneers,
Cowboys? Yeah.
and Buccaneers. All right, now let's
What
say-
team? Let me ask you on that real quick before we move on to AFC. Chris, what team do you have right on the cusp as that 7th team that's just going to miss the playoffs, like that wild card team that could interchange with that 6th spot? Who do you have right there?
The Giants.
Okay.
I'd have them right there at 7 or 8.
What about you,
Probably-
Matt?
I actually have the Saints right there.
I have the Lions right there. So
Okay.
Mm.
All right. So now let's.
For
ahead,
me, it
I'm
would be
sorry.
the Giants or the Vikings. I think that defense, and I know Sam Bradford isn't. For some reason, I like Sam Bradford. I know no one does, but
I liked him always. Yeah,
I-
he's he's just not reliable.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
looks like Gronk just scored one.
I knew I should have picked
Henry.
that.
Wait, there's a flag. There's a flag. Hold on.
Okay, let's keep going. We'll talk about that
All
later.
right.
Screw you.
Go ahead.
All right. So we have the playoffs. You have your wild cards. Anthony, who do you have coming out of the NFC representing them in the Super Bowl?
Oh, you want to do the AFC first, and then we can come back to that?
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, we'll do AFC.
Build
Okay.
some. We could NFC
Okay.
title too. We could say.
Okay.
I mean, jeez.
Well, I guess we'll start with the AFC South. I guess, and I'll talk about the Titans real quick. since
Yeah,
you
tell
guys-
us.
I think they go from a 3-win team to a 9-win team last year, and I think they just only got better. Obviously, you saw last year DeMarco Murray had a
Ooh,
resurgence.
he might not have caught it.
Okay,
sorry.
yeah, thanks for interrupting me. You're a douche. But anyway,
Fine, football's on, man. That's more
as
important.
we saw, DeMarco Murray career went from down right back up because he got in a system that worked for him. Because we saw with the Cowboys, he had an offensive line. And if you notice, Tennessee the past couple of years, they have built their offensive line again. You saw Jake Cotlin, rookie, as an all-pro. I mean, that's very, I think for anyone to be an all-pro is tough. To be a rookie right tackle with all the guys they have in the league was probably even more impressive. Like you said, Delaney Walker, Mariota definitely took a step forward. He took the injury,
Yep.
Had to sit out. But, I mean, the Titans technically, they tied the Texans. They just lost the tiebreaker because the Bengals can't make a damn field goal at the end of a game. But that's neither here nor say. That's a touchdown, by the way, and Paul has it up right in front of me. Thank you, Paul.
That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant.
Messed
but
it
that's
up.
fine.
But with the addition at wide receiver, that was their weak point last year. Rashard Matthews is not a number one. He's a slot guy.
Nope.
That's what he was in the Dolphins. But they go out, they draft Corey Davis, the 5th pick, who was hurt, but they said he's even said himself he's 95% ready to go, which means he'll probably be 100% by Sunday. But then late in the offseason, the Jets parted waves with Eric Decker. The Titans come in, scoop him up, and now you actually have a pretty good passing attack with the two outside guys of Decker and Davis, Rashard Matthews. Tajay Sharp was just put on the IR 1 week, so we lose him, but we have Taylor, another rookie who's showing some flash. Then you have Delaney Walker, DeMarco, and then once again Derrick Henry, the Thunder and I think this offense is could be a really good passing, running offense in this league, especially behind that offensive line. Then you go on the defensive side, they improved again. You go out, you get Logan Ryan. You draft Adoree Jackson, not only for his speed, but also the return game. And then, Anthony, you got to help me out with this guy's name again. The guy they got from the Jags. The safety.
The Jags.
Ooh, no touchdown.
Oh, man. Now, Jonathan Cyprian?
There we go.
Yeah.
So, improved all around. And to go ahead and just say, I am picking the Titans to win this division. And I have them once again jumping up in the win total. I have them winning 11 games this year. I have them jumping up in the win total, and I feel like they're not going to be this year's Falcons because no one's going to get through the Patriots. But this is going to be a very surprising team, especially if you look in the division. They're the only team right now, if you don't count Andrew Luck's injury, or if you count Andrew Luck's injury, that actually has a set quarterback that knows he's starting from 1 to week 17. So, guys, who are your picks for the South?
Chris, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. For me, it all depends on when Andrew Luck comes back. Because if Andrew Luck started week 1, I would have picked them hands down. I would have picked them because Andrew Luck, I believe, is a better quarterback than Marcus Mariota. I'm just going to say it right off the bat. So, if he's healthy, then he will carry that team into a division win, basically into a division championship. Not division championship. Let me not go that far. But to win the division.
But what about their defense? Their defense sucks.
It doesn't matter. Andrew Luck can put up points like it's nothing. And
but what does he have?
I would trust
who
if
does
I
he
had
have-
one drive.
Who does he
if I
have
had one
around
drive,
him? Who's around him?
T.Y. Hilton.
Who else?
Stir the pot.
Give me someone else.
Stir it up.
Give me someone else. Who else? Who
The,
else? They just traded Dorsett. They don't
the
have
other guy, the
their
number
tight
2
end.
guy.
Dante
Right
Moncrief.
now.
Dante Moncrief.
There you
They
go.
have
What
Jack
if-
Doyle. What are you talking about? He
Okay.
came out last year. That's why they got rid of Allen.
Whatever. They have
If
a
I had one
50-year-old
drive,
running back.
If I had one
Yeah,
drive
they have that rookie
to
from
win a
South
game,
Florida who's good,
I would
Marlon
pick
Mack.
Andrew Luck over Marcus Mariota.
That's cool. That's cool. But can he put up the points that his defense are going to allow them to get?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're out of your goddamn mind.
Whoa, easy.
I think you're drinking the Mariota juice too strong over there.
Mariota's
Actually,
good, man.
where's your drink over there, huh?
It's right here.
I
Drinking
thought
water.
this is the drinking show. Oh, okay, all right.
Paul, will you tell
But
them
yeah.
my second one?
Yeah.
Second seltzer water.
This
Is that an O'Doul's
Whatever.
non-alcoholic?
All right, we're done from you. Anthony, who do you got?
So, hey man, I didn't say.
man.
I actually was gonna say that since I don't know when Andrew Luck is coming back, my default pick is gonna be the Titans.
Dang,
You happy?
Default. Oh, that's
Default.
sickening, Matt. You see that?
Default? There is no default pick. Who wins and who doesn't?
I'm saying because Andrew Luck is not healthy right now, I'm gonna pick the Titans.
Okay, that's your pick. You can't change picks.
By default.
No, there is no. You're picking the Titans. Anthony, go ahead.
All right. Is it my
Screw this
turn
guy.
now?
Yeah,
Blake
it's your
Bortles
turn.
and the Jaguars are going to come in last place. So let's
Yes.
continue on to who's going to be at the top.
Ooh.
The Tennessee Titans are winning that division.
Thank you.
Andrew Luck health.
Finally,
Andrew Luck
someone
health-
who knows what the f he's talking about.
Andrew Luck healthy or not, the Titans win that division. They've made a jump from
Just like
the last
Chris in the
season.
bedroom.
Oh.
Oh, he's gonna
I missed
try
it.
the man?
I'm sorry, I missed it. I was
Go
paying
ahead.
attention.
Go ahead.
The
Go ahead.
football
I'm
game.
Anthony.
glad you missed. I didn't really hear it. I just heard something that shouldn't have been said, but we'll continue.
Patriots were stuffed on 4th and 1.
Okay, thank you because I'm behind on my computer. So thank you very much. So go ahead,
Good.
Anthony.
I agree with the Titans. I think the Titans are going to be this. I think the Titans are poised for a move in the playoffs too, not just making the playoffs. I still like the Colts. Like Chris said, Andrew Luck is a quarterback that I feel does not get enough credit. Everyone always talks about what he doesn't do instead of what he does do and shows that he can do, despite being injured. So my pick is the Titans, though. Luck
When
could
you
be
say
playing
moving the
week one,
playoffs,
and
do
I
you
would-
have them winning a playoff game? Is that what you're trying to say?
We'll talk when we get to that
Okay.
point, but I have the Titans winning that division. I have the Titans winning that division. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
All right, real quick. All in favor of the Patriots winning the AFC East, say aye.
Yeah, all right, let's move on.
Okay, AFC North. I
I guess maybe the better question is, do they go 16 and 0?
I actually
No.
have them losing 14-2.
Okay.
14. Question for you: if Tannehill's healthy, do you think the Dolphins make any kind of push for that division, or no? Still no.
No.
I
I
like
don't-
Jay Cutler. I think I like Jay Cutler better than Mariota.
Oh man, someone got some tea in here because I'm just gonna sip that and mind my business.
All right, so let's move on to the North. I have the Steelers. Who do you guys have?
The Steelers.
Yeah, I have the Steelers.
I think that's another easy one. I think the Steelers are obviously like team 1, and then the Ravens and Bengals are going to be 2A, 2B. That's a coin flip right there.
Yeah, I agree.
All right,
I
the
have the
West.
Steelers.
I have the Raiders. Who do you guys got?
The Raiders.
Chris?
Yeah, I agree.
Oh wow, thought you would have said like the Broncos or some stupid crap like that you've been saying all day. How much
Actually,
alcohol? How
you
much
know what?
tequila is in that margarita? I want to know.
I think
Obviously,
the
it's too
Chargers.
much.
I think the Chargers. This year is the Chargers. A new
Cut them
home.
off. Cut them off.
fresh
Just
start.
cut them off. I'll come over there and cut them off myself.
No, I think Derek Carr takes a jump up, and I think he's going to progress. If he didn't get injured, I think it would be a no-brainer. I mean, even now, I think it's a no-brainer. But if he didn't get injured,
They
I
would have
think
beaten the
Raiders.
Texans. Obviously, they would have
Exactly.
gotten
They
their
would've-
butts spanked the next week, but they would have beaten the Texans.
I don't know about all that.
What do you mean, all what?
I said I don't know about all that. I don't think they would have lost as bad as you think they would have.
All right, let's move on to the playoffs. So, real quick, Anthony, to your comment, you have the Titans at least winning one playoff game. Is that what I'm hearing?
Depends on matchups. The wild cards.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
wild card.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Anthony. Who do you have as a wild card?
oh man, you put me on the spot here.
I just don't
Chris,
know.
you have your wild cards handy because I don't.
I have mine. Do you want me to go and go?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have the Chiefs and the Broncos. I have 3 AFC West teams making it. I look at the AFC and it just looks so bad. I don't see anyone else in the South making the playoffs. Like you said, if Luck is hurt, that whole division is abysmal.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the North, yeah, you have the Ravens, but who's Flacco going to throw to? Oh, well, they have Macklin, I guess. I'm sorry, but really, I just don't see anything
Macklin
there.
and Mike Wallace still, who
That's
played really
true.
well for them last year.
I still don't have that. You go to the East, they talk for themselves.
Just over it. Just
I just
pass them by.
I have the West. I think will be the most competitive division in football this year, and I think it'll be the best. I know people say, well, the East is the best because of the Patriots. That's not how I go by. I go by the teams
go by
the quality
competitiveness.
of teams. The AFC West is the best division in all of football, and I have 3 out of the 4 teams making that. Sorry for Philip Rivers, but he just. I mean. But the thing about the Chargers
Someone's got to lose games. In the
but
division,
also the
and
thing about the
unfortunately it's them.
Chargers is if Gordon and Keenan Allen can stay healthy, then they can compete. So I think the West will be the most competitive division in football, and I do have them having 3 teams in the playoffs. So Anthony, who do you got?
It's a tough one for me. I like the Ravens. I feel like they're going to be the team just missing because of the points you made. I just feel like they didn't make a move, and Flacco's been out all year, out off season, I should say. So who knows how he's going to come back?
Exactly.
I like the Chiefs for sure as one of my wild cards, and then my 6th spot, I have the Colts, man. I think that they'll still find a way to make the playoffs. I would like the Texans a lot more, but Deshaun Watson, I feel like should be playing sooner. And I mean, if at that point, like everyone's like, oh, when's Watson going to get the turn? I mean, when is it going to be that turn? If Savage starts off 0-4, they're going to give him the chance, and then a rookie comes in with an 0-4 team. I mean, cue Tim Tebow, but that's neither here nor there. That's how it's correctly used, Matt, too, for a future reference for you. But I would go with the Colts as the 6th team.
Chris?
I'm going to have the Chiefs and the Chargers. And the reason I have the Chargers over the Broncos is because I trust Philip Rivers more than I trust Simeon. So,
What about Osweiler?
no, I don't even know if he's starting. He was just signed.
No, he's not. He's the 3rd string. I'm saying,
Yeah.
watch it. He's going to get the spot.
Hey, he might. He's got the experience, right? Well, they all do, I think.
All right.
If Simeon struggles, do they put in Paxton or Osweiler?
I go with Paxton. I think they're
Yeah.
really trying to see what he is, what
They
they got for
drafted
him.
him.
By
Yeah, they drafted him
so
for a
early.
reason.
Yep. Mhm.
So
How amazing that Oswald went out and made all that money and ends up right back to where
yeah,
whatever.
He had an
They're,
awesome analogy, and I'm trying to remember what it was. I gotta see if I can find it while you guys are talking. But
All right, so let's go playoffs now. So right now, let's just go NFC real quick. I have Falcons will be the 1 seed. I have Packers 2, Seahawks 3, Giants 4. This is my division. Then my wild cards will be 5, Cowboys 6, Bucks. I actually have the Cowboys. They'll go against the Giants. And with Elliott again, I feel like another time around, and the Cowboys will win this. So I actually have the Cowboys pulling off the upset against the Giants in the wild card. And then I have where is it? The Seahawks over the Buccaneers. So and then from there, I'll have Falcons against the Packers, another rematch, and I have the Falcons back in the Super Bowl. So Chris, what's your NFC looking like?
I just picked the 2. I just figured I just bid the top 2 and then picked the
I'm
winner
sorry.
of that.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead and do that then.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I think it's going to end up being the Panthers and the Cardinals. I think they're going to eventually meet up in the division conference championship game, and at that point, it's a toss-up.
Write that down. That Chris has the Cardinals and the Panthers somewhere. Just write it somewhere. This is
Why?
you write these down. Write them both down.
I'm writing this shit down.
This is going to be on YouTube. We can just go back
That's
and
true.
check in a few months.
When neither of them make the playoffs.
And I think the Cardinals, having the better offense, I think they will go ahead and nudge the Panthers and make it to the
Wow.
Super Bowl.
Wait, you said the Panthers?
No, he
So
has
the
the Cardinals in the
Cardinals-
Super Bowl.
Super
Nudging the
Wasn't that your
Panthers
pick
out.
last year, 2 or 2 years
Mhm.
ago or something like that? Yeah.
No,
Cool.
I think it was last year. Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out good for you. All right, go
Yeah.
ahead, Anthony.
Uh,
This is a pretty violent show.
I have the Packers as one of the NFC teams representing
Yeah.
in the championship game. Who they're playing is still in the air for me. I've gone back and forth asking myself who they would play, and I'm going to go with what I originally had, and that was the Packers versus the Seahawks in the NFC championship game. And I have the Packers representing the NFC this year in the Super Bowl.
All right. Yeah, that was it. Okay, let's go to AFC. I'll start with you first, Anthony. AFC. Last 2 and then representing.
Last 2,
Yeah.
Raiders and Patriots representing Patriots. Very
Chris?
close game.
I have the Steelers and Patriots. And Patriots take it.
Real quick, Anthony, for your playoffs. Do you have the Titans winning 1 game?
Depending on who the wild card would be. If the Titans were to get the Colts, yes. If the Titans were to get the Chiefs, no.
Okay. I have the Patriots against the Steelers as well, and I have the Patriots again. So I have a rematch of Patriots Falcons. Chris, you have Patriots Cardinals. Anthony, you have Patriots Packers. So, I have the Patriots winning. I have them. God damn it. I'm gonna have them repeating. I have the Patriots going back to back, and Tom Brady retires after the game.
What? Really?
Yep.
Wait, who is your matchup again?
Patriots Falcons is the rematch.
What? I thought you hate rematches of finals.
I mean, how can I? I do hate it, but these two have the best talent right now off the field. What the hell?
You did say it. He's not wrong.
I know. I just acknowledged that I hate it, but these are the best two teams that are going to make it. I'm not going to not pick the best two teams I think that aren't going to make it. Just like basketball every year, who would not pick the Celtics and Warriors? You may hate it, but you have to pick it. Patriots win. Tom Brady retires.
Celtics and Warriors?
I meant Cavs. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is that a prediction for this year? Celtics Warriors? Is that?
You know what? I think
No.
it may actually be. No, I'm being serious. That could be it. So, Anthony, who do you got?
I got the Patriots versus the Packers and winning the Super Bowl. I'll go with the Packers.
No.
Yeah.
There you go. Discount double check. Chris?
I like the pick. I'm an NFC guy, so I mean, although the AFC obviously seems to win it more often than not, I'm an NFC guy. I am going to will my way for Carson Palmer to get the MVP of the Super Bowl and send Tom Brady on his
I
way.
can't do this show right now.
And retire.
Throw this pick already.
Aaron Rodgers don't blow a 28-3 lead. I can tell you that. You give Aaron Rodgers a 28-3 lead, he's making that score 35-3 real quick.
Who?
Touchdown.
Aaron Rodgers ain't making no 28-3
Will you
loss.
stop saying stuff? I am behind.
Well, that's your problem.
God, you're like the jackwagons that spoil Game of Thrones the day afterwards.
Hey,
You're a spoiler guy. You love with the spoilers. You're always texting me.
I stopped.
Is this at the beginning?
Yeah, you stopped.
Paul's
without
about to
yelling.
drop his laptop on the floor on the ground.
Is this in the beginning? Did
What,
this start
this?
from the beginning?
Yeah, it did. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, let's
He's
just-
Touchdown
scored.
Chiefs, huh?
Shit, let's just put it to
So
the
anyway,
beginning.
okay, so we have Cardinals. Anthony, you said Packers, right?
Packers over the Patriots.
And then
yeah.
Patriots.
My heart wanted to say the Giants, but I'm gonna for once not go with my team to win it all, and hope that maybe it's reverse psychology and they do win.
I still can't believe I'm just Cardinals. Like Cardinals? Are you sure?
Do they not have a good defense? Do
They're
they
one of the
not
best running
have
backs in the
a
league.
good running back?
If not
An
the best
elite running back?
So
And do they
had
not
this-
have a competent quarterback
They had
with
this team
wide
last.
receiver
They had
threats?
this team last year. And what happened?
No, Carson Palmer was injured last year a little bit.
All right, I'm taking it all back. I'm going Bucks versus Titans in the Super Bowl. Book it. First versus second. pick
You know,
of
if
the
you do
draft.
that, James's pants will be around his ankles, right?
Your pants are probably going to do that.
Yeah.
because
the
the last
Titans in
time,
the
yeah,
Super
because the
Bowl.
last time we played the Bucks, we put up 40-something points.
Yeah, and they put up what, like 41? They were right there with you. It was
No,
like
they
a
weren't. It
touchdown
was a
difference,
blowout.
wasn't
It was a
I
blowout.
don't, was it? Oh, in the
Yes.
first week. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Because it was, I think it was the first
Lots
time
changed
ever
since then,
the
my
1
friend.
and 2 pits ever played each other. I believe in week 1. It had to be, right? I've never
A lot
heard
has
of that.
changed, though. Yes, it was. It was the first time.
Actually,
Has a
my
number
Super Bowl,
one-
my Super Bowl pick is whoever signs RG3. Hands down.
I like that pick.
Has a number
I like
1
it.
and number 2 draft pick quarterbacks ever met in the Super Bowl?
No, I don't think so. It's not, in the same year, I can't know.
Are these
Not
two
that I know
not
of,
the
no.
same year, but ever? I don't think so, right?
Like a 1 overall and a 2 overall pick.
Yeah, I don't think
mean,
so, right?
Sure, I'm pretty sure 2 number ones have played each other before.
But not a
At
1,
some-
but
Right.
not in the
but
same
not,
draft.
not a
of
1-2. I don't
Yeah,
you
never
think-
a 1-2 in the same
All right,
draft
real
ever.
quick before we sign off, do you think these two are capable of being the first two to ever do that? Like, I'm just being honest. Like, let's say after Brady retires, and let's say 2 to 3 years, do you think these two maybe have the best chance to ever do something like that?
I don't think the Titans have the team to beat the Raiders.
Okay. I know.
Even
fair
Even
enough.
I'm just saying on that, and I think the Buccaneers in their own division, they can win a division, but that's a tough division, man. With Cam Newton and the Panthers, Matt Ryan and the Falcons, the Saints are there
When's
too,
this
man.
time
I mean,
would probably come in a Super Bowl once you see
Winston
maybe
and Mariota
people-
are highly talented. Let me make sure that that's said, and that this is not me coming off as saying that these guys are not capable players. I think that they're both highly talented. I think that they've both made leaps from last season, but that does not change the fact that I don't think that they're going
Do you
to
think
be.
they're a better
in the
1-2 talent wise than Luck and RG3?
You can't really say that because RG3 got injured, and I've said this from day one. The Redskins playing him in that game at the end of the season was
It's a
the worst
mistake.
thing for that guy's career.
What about
he had all the potential to continue to play, and
what about
unfortunately, we'll never
Wentz?
know really what he was capable of.
What about Golf and
So.
Wentz?
Sorry?
What?
Golf and Wentz.
Wentz? Carson Wentz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mariota
about-
Winston are a better
Oh,
one
Goff.
too.
I thought he said golf. I'm like, golf and
No.
Wentz?
Goff. Jared.
No, they're not even. No, it's definitely
No.
Mariota Winston if that's a discussion.
Okay, actually, let's go with the Rams real quick. Just one quick thing. Do you think he takes a better step this year, or do you think he's going to be a bust number one?
Hey, talking to the mic.
Not. I think he's going to make a huge step. I think Todd Gurley is not going to play like he did last year. Sammy
Because
Watkins is there.
they have the wide
Robert
receivers
Woods is
now
there.
where you have to
They have
respect
wide receivers
them.
that are capable, and Cooper Kupp in the slot. I mean, they
And
have
now,
regardless. But I
and
think
Austin
if
can go
I'm
to the
Rams,
slot now where
if
he
I'm the Rams,
belongs.
I throw the ball right away to Watkins and let teams know, hey, you're going to have to get 9 out of the box. You're going to have to start, playing against
And
these receivers.
Tavon
Because
now can finally take all that weight
Cut
on
him.
his shoulder as a number one and go to a slot. You say cut him?
Tavon, yeah, it's not working out there.
Do you think, how do you think Tavon would do with the Patriots?
I
as
think
a
he
slot
needs
guy?
a new team. That's what I'm saying. It's not his.
I think you guys are overly optimistic on the Rams. I mean, that division is tough.
I'm not saying they're going to be an
The
elite
division is
contender,
tough, but how
I
many
think their
times have the
offense is gonna be
Rams
better.
still had a bad team and still beat the Seahawks one
That's
time a
always
year?
that way. That's always that way.
It's a division game.
Yeah, and they play tough. So
I'm
I
not
mean,
saying
the
the
Rams,
Rams,
the
are
Rams
coming,
could make the
10
playoffs
and
if they
6.
need to. I mean, yeah.
Oh no!
No,
Whoa,
I didn't say
whoa,
that.
whoa.
I didn't say that. But I mean, last
Just,
year.
you didn't say that. You just said it. I
You
heard.
just
Last
said
year,
it.
okay, last year they started very strong, and then the downward spiral when Case and Keenum decided to finally play like a second string quarterback. But all right, so it's 7-7 now. I'm pretty sure I want to go watch. I'm sure you guys want to go watch. So I think
Been
we'll end it
watching.
right there. So Paul, I think it's time for you. If you guys have nothing else to say, you guys good?
I mean, I'm pretty good. Yeah.
Real quick,
I mean,
I'll go ahead and
I'm
say
just-
it. Seems like it's been confirmed, but next week I made a little chat on Twitter back and forth. But it seems like next Thursday, we're gonna have a special guest, CBS Sports radio host anchor, Madden Community Now host as well. Covered the Patriots for their championship runs. Did some work in Nashville. Larry Riddle will be on the show next Thursday. How about that, guys?
It's gonna be great. We're
Larry
looking
Riddle.
forward to definitely have some talk.
And
with
the
him, so that'll
reason
be
that
nice.
one of the big reasons coming on the show is he went out and questioned, because Anthony, Problem, Chris, you remember Problem? We talked about him with now I can't believe with Stiff about being the GOAT. He came out and said that Problem's not the GOAT of Madden anymore. So we're going to talk about that because that was if you look at the Twitter, he was attacked at least for the past week about saying that Problem. Larry Riddle, the guy we're having on, he said something about Problem not being the best Madden player, and he just got attacked by people saying you don't know what the F you're talking about. Problem came out and said, keep my name out of your MF or mouth, and all this other thing. So we're definitely going to talk to him about those comments because if you think about it, Problem hasn't won a championship in the past couple of years, and that's what he's basing this off of. Because the guy who won this past championship we talked about in Stimbo has won 4 straight major events. So that's where this topic is coming up. So we'll talk to him about that, about the controversy of that topic in the Madden community, because he got a lot of backlash from that. And then we'll talk to him about his time covering the Patriots. So next week, as of right now, we have Larry Riddle coming on the show, CBS Sports anchor and Madden community host. So Paul, I'll let you take over.
Is it Riddle or Ridley?
Maybe Ridley. I'm sorry, Ridley.
It's
I'm sorry.
Ridley, wow.
Ridley.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
Apologize.
was like, wait a minute.
Larry Ridley.
All right, well, that
And
was
actually,
that
what
was a great opportunity that after he
just-
hears this, he's going to be like, no,
Yeah.
can't say
I
my
don't
name
think
right.
I don't think he'll
Forget
watch
Good job,
this
man.
one. Sorry, I apologize. Larry Ridley. And actually, I actually heard him on CBS Sports before when he does when they have shows that, when they don't show on the weekends or something. You actually hear him. So Paul, go right ahead with your Shamil.
Shamil.
Meal?
Spiel. God, can we just go? I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. By the way, the Nats magic number is down to 12, by the way. Keep going.
Oh, God. So for more mispronunciations and everything like that, go to youtube.com/Shipe Sports Talk. You can hit us up on Facebook, Facebook.com/Shipe Sports Talk. Shipe Sports Talk at gmail.com and Twitter @Shipe Sports Talk. All right, there you go. Take it away, Matt.
All right, guys, enjoy week 1 of the NFL season. Like I think like the same as last year, we all do daily fantasy. We'll post our lineup on the Stripe Sports Talk page. God, I'm messing up today for some reason. I think Chris got me fired up about that Tennessee Titan comment.
It's true. I believe it.
And if you have any fantasy questions, you can contact us at everything Paul just said. So thank you, everyone. So for myself, Chris, Anthony, Paul, have a good evening. And for my new school I'm working at tomorrow, go Barons for their first home game tomorrow. Go BCC Barons.
Oh, nice.
Good luck to them. Yeah.
If you look at their logo, it's basically the Fighting
It's a
Irish
Fighting
logo,
Irish.
just a different color.
Oh, really?
Right.
All right,
Just
thanks,
like
everyone.
Gaithersburg.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Enjoy your evening.
All right.
Thanks,
see
everyone.
ya.
All
Stay
right, good
safe
night,
again
guys.
during this hurricane. Have a good night, everybody.
Same to you,
Yeah,
Anthony,
you
as
too,
well.
Anthony.
Good luck, everyone.
All right, so just pretend there's like music and stuff, because I don't have the music and stuff ready to go.
Oh, wait, that's the beginning one.